Yeah. Okay. You ready to get into it? Start that countdown on my ass. Hey,
Mondy,
Julian.
what's up,
Are you
man?
ready? I'm
Let's do
ready,
it. We
man. How
got
about you?
news, reviews, updates, tidbits, titties. Factoids. Let's do it.
Tabloids, yeah, all that stuff.
All of it.
The budget for Percy Jackson and the Olympians is between 12 million and 15 million dollars per episode. That's on
hmm
par with The Mandalorian. What are your thoughts, man? They're putting money into it.
It's about fucking time. Jesus Christ. I'm so glad Disney owns the property now, and Rick Riordan is able to make something that is comparable to the vision that he always wanted. Because most, I guess anybody that read the books or watched those movies objectively, we all know that they were just bad. They were terrible. That's just my opinion. Now I know that you like the first one for some reason. Sea of Monsters can go to fucking hell. I don't care what you say. Uh,
Agreed, agreed.
but yeah, like I'm super excited for it, man. I think it debuts right before Christmas, if I'm not mistaken, December 22nd. Double debut. Can't wait for it, man. I can't wait.
I've never understood these rates when it comes to these shows. Like, how in the hell could you possibly spend more than $500,000 on an episode? I don't care how much. Like, I, I don't.
CGI,
I
man.
never understood. I don't understand how it breaks down. Like the CGI, the paid actors, the paying everybody on set. I just don't get how you can get to $12 million. That's insane to me. Um, there's a new direction for Sesame Street. Apparently, it will focus more so on dynamic and sophisticated stories. The quote is, "Kids love a little bit of peril. They love having emotional stakes." Are we getting deep on Sesame Street? Are we going to have
I
some murders?
I guess so. That's the direction that we're going for this new age. Hey man, look, kids evolve just like TV shows. So if this is what the kids are watching nowadays and this is what they find cool, sure. Good for them. I'm not gonna watch this shit, so who cares?
The only show that can give One Piece a run for its money when it comes to episodes. Uh,
No, I
um,
think Sesame Street probably has way more than 1,000.
no, it does. That's what I'm saying. Like, well, you're
Uh,
right. I guess not a run for its money anymore.
yeah.
Josh Peck auditioned for Edward in Twilight and was one of the 4 finalists. Isn't that interesting? Because you have seen Josh
This
Peck
is
as Edward.
this is interesting because the story that he told about it, I don't know why, but like it just seemed like such a lie. But then again, it's just like why would he even lie about this? And like I don't know. The
He's got a
story, this
podcast.
yeah, whatever. The story is certainly hilarious though. The fact that they tried to lead Josh to believe pre him losing all the weight that he was going to be this super hot, sexy, dreamy vampire. Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't know. But it's a fun story, I guess. Shout out to Josh Peck, man. I love you in your career. You are a staple of my childhood. Shout out to you.
I actually just ran a poll on Twitter last night. Which vampire franchise is the best out of Twilight, Blade, or your favorite? I'm sorry, not the best out of Twilight, Underworld, and Blade. Um, Out of those 3, which one is your favorite out of those vampire
I'm
franchises?
pretty sure I voted Underworld in that poll.
Okay, you put Underworld.
As
I'm trying to go
favorite,
to
yeah.
the Yeah, I'm trying to go to the poll right now. Mine is Twilight. So right now we got Blade at 55%. This is my Twitter poll, guys. Mondeuse, Monduse. We got Blade at 55%, Underworld at 9%, and Twilight at 36%. So
Wow.
cool.
Okay.
John Wick 2014 was originally titled Scorn, but Keanu Reeves kept telling everyone that he was starring in a movie called John Wick. So the studio just decided to roll with it, which I think was definitely the better choice than Scorn. That just sounds so generic, but that's pretty cool as well.
Shout out to Keanu Reeves, just doing Keanu Reeves shit. He's like, what's this shit called again? Oh yeah, John Wick. All right, cool, yeah, cool. John Wick, got it.
Um, David Fincher says his canceled World War Z sequel would have been a little bit too much like the Last of Us. He said, "I'm glad that we didn't go and do what we were going to do because The Last of Us has a lot of more real estate to explore the same stuff." So, shout out to David Fincher for having the foresight to see those similarities. But I would have wanted a World War Z sequel because those zombies are unlike anything I've ever seen besides, like, I guess, Train to Busan, which I saw afterwards.
The zombies in World War Z are like no fun, honestly. Like I don't
What?
like not no nobody wants to live in a fucking zombie apocalypse with zombies like that. I'm sorry. Like
What are you talking about, bro?
it's no fun, bro. It's no fun. You
All
have
them
literally
niggas,
no hope. Like
all
fuck
them niggas
that.
running a 4-2 at you. That's so scary.
Exactly. It's too fucking it better not ever fucking happen. So yeah. I don't want a sequel. I saw the first one in theaters once and I was just like, this is I feel like this was one of those ideas that was like probably bounced around in the writer's room and then like it made it to screen, and then like there was just like a certain percentage of the people was just like, okay, this is an interesting new take on zombies because especially at the time we're just in the zombie renaissance where there's everything zombie video games, Walking Dead, and da 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 da, and they wanted to try to be new and different, but yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't want fucking zombies sprinting at me faster than I can fucking run. Fuck that.
Those zombies are so much scarier than the average zombie. But didn't
They are.
28 days later and 28 weeks later do that first? The fast zombies.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay, I never watched those movies. I know that they're beloved though. Um, Elon Musk is starting to charging $1 for new Twitter users. So shout out to us for being OGs. I've been on there since 2011. But yeah, all you new Twitter slash X users, pay that dollar. And circles has now been removed as well. I've been seeing a lot of people, a lot of dialogue on Twitter. People, oh my god, they took away circles. But granted, all the people who are complaining about circles being removed from Twitter, they all posting like freaky shit all day, and so they don't have an audience that they can just cater that freaky content for. So I'm sorry to all my freaks out there.
Yeah, you nasty
Um,
niggas. Jesus Christ.
and Twitter slash X will be also introducing audio and video calls. So yeah,
For what reason?
um,
You know what? Whatever. Okay, cool. Great.
you know, Tyler Perry lands a 4-year deal with Netflix. This is kind of big. I mean, he's got a huge audience. He says that he'll never try to acquire BET again because remember that was the whole thing he was going through. He said that the bidding process was just disrespectful. I don't know to what extent it was disrespectful, but that's what he said. And so, yeah,
Mm.
Netflix has been landing some big names like Shonda Rhimes, Tyler Perry, Ryan Murphy lately. So, yeah,
That's
any thoughts on
so
this?
interesting. So interesting. Do I want to see fucking Tyler Perry and Netflix together doing Netflix original Tyler Perry movies? And
Hell no.
yeah, yeah, bro, I really don't. But doesn't this kind of contradict his whole point of being an independent studio and making his own films? I mean, I don't know.
He
Like,
still needs a
I
platform
guess
to release it on.
right. Yeah. I mean, and I guess Netflix is still the platform, but yeah, sure. Okay, here we go. 4 years about to have Why Did I Get Married 3? And everything else with The Rock returning, by the way. He is gonna return. And Kevin Hart's gonna be in it, of course, because they do everything together now. So yeah,
I forgot his ass was in that movie.
he was.
Big news just dropped today. Actually, Disney is set to buy full control of Hulu for $8.6 billion. So they already had a partnership for a couple years now. The full control, Disney's just they're just doing too much, bro. They're like a real life Thanos. It's getting insane.
I
Like nigga,
mean,
can somebody stop this?
no, they can't. They can't stop the beast. I mean, Disney owns fucking Marvel, Fox, Star Wars, Hulu now.
The
Um,
Fox acquisition was crazy enough. I'm like, can we stop it right
yeah,
there? Like,
they own so much. Indiana Jones. I mean, Jesus Christ, they own a lot. So shout out to
yeah,
Disney.
Pixar. Yeah.
Pixar. Fuck.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think National Geographic. Anyway, let's talk some trailers. We have the first trailer for Blumhouse's Imaginary. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. It's been released where viewers have to close their eyes and use their imagination to figure out the plot. It comes to theaters March 8th. This seems very experimental. It's almost like some A24 shit, to be honest. But hey, Blumhouse is taking on that task. What are your thoughts on this?
I guess I just don't understand the marketing behind this. Like, how is anyone supposed to get excited for that 15-second teaser of just close your eyes and imagine what the plot's going to be? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how like the average customer is going to be like. I'm going to see that opening night or opening weekend or whatever the case may be. Um, Now, look, I do give points for creativity and ingenuity and being innovative because I mean, I'm the guy on the pod that's always talking about how we need to do new and original shit. Stop trying to bring stuff back from the 90s. Like that Good Burger 2 trailer, holy fuck. I feel bad for everyone involved in that. But yeah, so I mean, I can't say that I'm excited for this or I'm jumping for joy for this little thing or whatever this was supposed to be, but I will give them credit for trying something new. Ultimately, will I ever check this out? I'm probably going to forget it exists tomorrow. So no, but hey, maybe I will if they do more promoting for it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, this promotion rollout is so risky. It's no way there's any kind of real investment in this. I'm assuming that Blumhouse probably put like maybe at the max $5 million into this, and they're just hoping that they can get some kind of ROI because like a studio would never risk this kind of. promo on this kind of thing. But I hate when movies feel like kind of like gimmicky. Like remember that a couple years ago when that movie came out called Hardcore Henry, when the whole movie was like in first POV shooter.
Mm-mm. Don't
Like
remember that at all.
it was shot like a first person shooter game, the entire movie.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, well, that felt gimmicky. I didn't watch that either, and I never heard anything about it. So, just yeah. We have the trailer for, or this is a brief teaser, really, for Anyone But You. This is starring Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. It's been released in theaters. It's coming to theaters December 15th. This had like a lot of buzz going into it just because it was rumored that like one of them cheated on, or I think Glenn Powell might have cheated on his girlfriend with Sydney Sweeney. Can't blame him if I'm being honest. But what are your thoughts on or fiance or some shit like that? But what are your thoughts on just the teaser that we got here? Are you ready for another rom com?
Yeah, I was about to say, man. I think you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I think I am ready for another rom com. Now, Sydney Sweeney, sure, she is fun to look at, but can she hold a movie together? We're gonna fucking find out. Um, and yeah, I mean, again, nothing that I'll be rushing to theaters or if this debuts on streaming, whatever. I mean, I would not be rushing to see this, but I will probably check it out and I will probably enjoy it to some extent. C plus loading.
Right. She does great on Euphoria. So I mean, I think she can hold a movie together, but we'll see. And isn't it kind of played out the whole rom com trope of like two people meeting each other who don't like each other, and they gotta act like they're liking each other in front of people, and then eventually that's gonna grow into some kind of organic like that things happens. That plot happens so many times. I'm just kind of over it, but whatever.
Mm.
We have the trailer for Michael Mann's new movie Ferrari has been released. It's coming to theaters on Christmas. This is Oppenheimer for niggas who like cars, I guess. You know, this is starring Adam Driver. Looks totally different in the trailer. For car enthusiasts, for sure. What are your thoughts?
Didn't see this trailer. I have no idea what this is. I feel like I missed a lot of
Okay.
trailers you may have tagged me in, to be completely honest.
Well, thanks. Okay. Anyway, this is like I guess the creator of Ferrari or something like that, and he's putting it all on the line for this one race. Honestly, I felt the same way about Gran Turismo going into it, and I was pleasantly surprised by that movie. So, cause I'm just not a car guy, even though I work with cars in my job all the time. Um, I don't want to just write it off just yet because I'm not a car person because I did love Gran Turismo. So we'll see. But it looked like Oppenheimer for niggas who like cars. Like I said, it's just a biopic about the nigga who made Ferrari, which I feel like we've seen the movie 1,000 times before. Anyway, Jenna Ortega and Tommy Lee Jones and Ben Foster star in the first trailer to Finest Kind, coming December 15th on Paramount Plus. Did you watch this trailer?
No.
Okay, this is nothing special to be honest. It looks like a Paramount Plus release, and so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll
Okay.
see. Um, Guys, for those who never watched No Hard Feelings that came out this spring or summer with Jennifer Lawrence is now streaming on Netflix. I think me and you both expressed that we liked it enough to we
Mm,
recommended it. It's in
very
that B
funny.
territory for both of us. Yeah.
Yep, for
So
sure.
guys, check it out if you need a comedy to watch. Uh, the Boys spinoff Gen V, which I'm currently watching right now, is definitely heating up. Has been renewed for a season 2. So all my Gen V Boys fans, you guys are in luck. Julian, do you have any plans on watching Gen V or ever finishing the Boys?
No, no plans.
Even the Boys?
Nope, no plans. I'm ready to see Invincible. Don't care about the boys. Sorry.
Wow. A sequel to It Follows titled They Follow has been announced. Now I never saw It Follows, but I've been told many times it's like a horror classic, like it's like a
It
modern horror
follows.
classic.
Oh, okay.
So I got it on my list. I'll definitely be watching it soon. But yeah, it has like a cult following fan base. So yeah, they follow is coming soon.
Okay, awesome. Let's do it, I guess.
The Black Phone 2 will be released on June
What
27th,
the fuck?
2025. This is the movie starring Ethan Hawke when he kidnapped the kid. What are your thoughts on this?
It's so interesting that this particular movie's getting a sequel. If I remember correctly, he died in the end, so I guess it's just gonna be another guy in another city kidnapping other kids and
Prequel.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, could be a prequel, I guess. Yeah.
Remember,
Um,
he killed many kids.
yeah. So I guess it could just be one of the kids. I mean, look, the the Black Phone had a fantastic trailer. The movie honestly didn't live up to the trailer's hype, in my opinion. I do still think that it was very good. Like it was like wow. Like I was like wow, okay, this is a good watch. But like I watched it once in theaters and I haven't revisited it. Haven't thought about revisiting it. Um, and the sequel. I mean, I guess I'll see which direction they're going to go before I check it out, obviously. But I don't know. This is kind of a weird one to get a sequel, in my opinion. But whatever.
No, I totally agree with everything you just said. It had a great trailer for the Black Phone. Um, and yeah, the movie it was good. I gave it like a B minus or a B, I believe, but I just expected a lot more for some reason. But yeah, I'll definitely check out part two. And last bit of news that's in terms of movies that are coming out that have been announced is Now You See Me 3 is officially moving forward at Lionsgate.
Interesting.
Are you excited about Now You See Me 3?
um, I think I am. I mean, like these are no seriously, like these are like the type of little dumb little movies like Now You See Me 1 and 2 that I can just put on and just enjoy. Um, I don't think that they're good. Like they're not like good movies in my opinion, but I do think that they're very fun and innovative, which is cool. Like with the with all the CGI and shit that you can do now, like you can make some of this stuff just look so good in terms of magic. So let's do it, man. Jesse Eisenberg returns, Dave Franco return. Like I want the entire gang back together. Um, let's do it. I'm here for it, honestly.
Yeah, that card scene from part two, I think, is one of the best magic scenes I've seen in magic scenes I've seen in a movie. Even though it's not real magic. I mean, that was awesome, man. I go back and watch that clip like maybe like once a year. It's just a really good scene.
I agree.
Let's talk some gaming news. I got the Spider-Man 2 review at the end, so don't just hold off on that, my friend. Um,
Oh, sorry. Okay, my bad.
um, Microsoft apparently is all in on gaming. Their quote is, "We're looking forward to really doubling down both as a game producer and a publisher. Now, we'll be one of the largest game publishers, and also a company that's building platforms for it." So, are you excited for this? Do you use Xbox or PlayStation? I can't. You use PlayStation, right?
I have everything, sir.
Oh,
First of
everything.
all,
Okay, okay.
this is
Sorry.
yeah, flex. All right, anyway, yeah. This is just a crock of bullshit. Microsoft's been talking like this for the past 10 years, while PlayStation
Oh
has
wow.
released exclusive after exclusive after exclusive. Microsoft has not had a good exclusive in what year were we? 2023? In about 15 years, my opinion. That's my opinion.
Damn.
Um, so
Even
yeah,
Halo?
yeah, I said a good exclusive. Um, so yeah, that's their problem. Whereas in that same 15-year span, Sony has had The Last of Us, they've had God of War, they've had Spider-Man, they've had fuck.
Uncharted?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that counts in the 15-year span. And there was two other games I can't remember. Ratchet and Clank came back and some other open world fantasy game. But yeah, I mean, Microsoft has to step it up.
Ghost of Tsushima? Does that count?
Oh my god, I forgot about Ghost of Tsushima. It's a fantastic, amazing game. Yeah, keep shitting on them, Mondy. What else they got?
I don't know.
Nigga said, I don't know.
Anyways, the horror film Barbarian that came out last year. Did you ever watch that? Remember I
No,
recommended it to you.
no, I
Okay,
did.
it was
Yeah, I've
really
never seen it.
it's really good. I watched it again actually a month ago with my mom. It's being
Yeah, I
turned
saw
into a
that she didn't like it.
single. Yeah, she didn't. It's being turned into. But no, I'm not gonna say. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. But it's being turned into a single player video game, which will be created by Diversion 3 Entertainment. You never watched the movie, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But I will say this makes for a really, really interesting and fun game if this is done right. Because this could be really, really cool and scary, like almost like that. What was that game growing up we played in Dave and Buster's where like it was like a horror game? Was that Silent Hill? What was that?
Resident Evil, probably
Was it Resident Evil?
could have been, or it could have been Silent Hill. I don't know.
Anyway, like I feel like are those games still made where like it's made to be scary? Like, of course, we had the Five Nights at Freddy's, I guess, but um,
Hmm.
are those games still a thing?
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Okay,
Just like,
well, I'm out. I don't.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know. Well, this could be this could bring that kind of horror back. I feel like. Now it's time for the big news, guys. This is for the Spider-Man 2 game review. I don't play games, so I'm gonna hand it over to Julian. But I do have a couple of questions for him after he gets done with his review. But please go ahead, tell me your thoughts.
Spider-Man 2. Where to start? I guess I'll start with Spider-Man himself, Yuri Lowenthal, who voices Spider-Man. It's so funny how you can underestimate somebody because when he was originally cast as Peter Parker Spider-Man, he was just Sasuke Uchiha to me, and I wasn't sure that he could embody like such a good guy in a Peter Parker slash Spider-Man and be and have that dual identity. But he was amazing in the first game, and man, he really brought it in this game, man. He was honestly the standout. And I'm just talking about in terms of a performance. The narrative for Spider-Man 2 was not as good as the narrative in Spider-Man 1. That's just my personal opinion. But literally everything else in Spider-Man 2 blew Spider-Man 1 away. So if we're talking gameplay, if we're talking mechanics, if we're talking swinging through the city, obviously the graphics and the engine is just way better. The combat is way better. The amount of freedom you have with the suits, being able to play as Peter or Miles. And Insomniac fucking nailed it with this. Like Spider-Man 2 was an amazing adventure. I had so much fun with it. Being able to play as Venom out of nowhere was just nuts. Really just a geek out moment because like the way it's shot, it kind of seems like it's going into a cutscene, and then all of a sudden, like you're Venom, and it's just like holy fuck, like okay. And it's one of the most fun parts of the game. But uh, yeah, man, like this game, like from an overall narrative standpoint, if you've seen Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3, you've pretty much seen the narrative for this as well. But that's not a bad thing, like I still enjoy that just like I enjoyed this. I just felt that the overall narrative in the first Spider-Man had more heart. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, anyway, I mean, anyway you shake it, amazing game. I can't wait for part 3. I can't wait for all the spin-offs. Daredevil, maybe a Venom game. I don't know if I really want that. And Spider-Man 3, Wolverine's coming soon. Like I need it. I need it. I had a
Yeah,
great time. This
yeah,
this was basically a 9 out of 10.
excellent. Yeah, I mean, speaking of Wolverine, the creator did Insomniac did confirm that Wolverine is set. The game that's coming out is set in the same universe as the Spider-Man 2 game. Um, and just a couple of facts: Spider-Man 2 sold more than 2.5 million copies in its first 24 hours, which is the fastest selling PlayStation Studios game ever. So shout out to Spider-Man for that. Um, is it worth like someone like me? I like to watch the cutscenes on YouTube. Is the story worth watching? You think, or somebody like me who
100%.
just wants to see? Okay, okay.
100%. I mean, did you watch the first one?
I watched like half of it. For some reason, I never finished for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would suggest I mean, obviously, like it's a sequel to the first game, so if you want to know what's going on, you have to watch the first one. But yeah, like I mean, anybody out there that's like Monty and just wants to watch the YouTube storyline, I 100% recommend it. It's still very good, and you're gonna get a lot of great cutscenes from Yuri Lowenthal, who's playing Peter, obviously, but who's been taken over by the symbiote. So just that duality alone and having different inflections and changes in his voice and his character, like Yuri Lowenthal is kind of a goat now, in my opinion. Like, um, it's been 20 years of voice acting from that I've heard him from because obviously he's been in Naruto since the beginning. So yeah, man, he was amazing. Watch him on YouTube for sure.
Speaking of Yuri Lowenthal, he wants Deadpool to appear in the next Spider-Man game. Do you want that as well as a fan?
Absolutely not. But if it happens, I mean, okay. But yeah, no thanks.
And also, speaking of Venom, I've been hearing a lot of praise for Tony Todd's voice acting. He's the voice of Candyman in the Candyman movies.
Mm.
Um, do you prefer his voice to Venom or Tom Hardy's Venom voice, which I think is really good too?
Here's the thing about that. I think I may be a voice acting snob, but I don't think they gave Tony Todd enough to do because I was excited for his Venom. And we really barely got him. I mean, in the times that he was there, he was fine. Like he was what I expected Venom to sound like, sure. But like I can't say that he necessarily stood out or owned the role. That's just my opinion.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Do you like Tom Hardy's Venom voice? Now I'm just curious. Like a nerd
Uh,
annoying.
I mean, it's fine. Yeah,
Okay,
it's fine.
just curious. It's actually him doing it too. It's not like a voice modulator at all. So that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
I found out doing some digging that apparently Miles runs faster than Peter. That's got to be racist, right? In the game.
Well, I mean, Miles
I mean,
Miles
I'm
is
kidding, by the way. It's not really racist, but go ahead.
yeah, I mean, Miles is physically stronger and faster than Peter. So,
Oh,
yeah.
stronger too.
Yeah, Miles is definitely stronger than Peter. Nigga, Miles has like 10 fucking powers. that
No, but okay,
enhances
I mean
abilities.
like physically stronger. He's not physically stronger than Peter, is he? He's younger. He's a kid.
I would assume that he's physically stronger than Peter Parker. Yes, in this
Weird.
world, in this Insomniac world, the amount of powers that this Miles Morales has, bro, is insane. I would
No, I
100% assume that he's physically stronger than Peter Parker. Yes.
wow, like I know in the comics he has like the invisibility, the electrocution, all the venom strike, all that kind of shit. But I didn't think he was okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if that's
That's
true in
just
the comics.
my opinion, and that's just
Yeah,
in this world only. I'm not saying in any other medium. In these two
yeah.
games, well, three, from what I've seen, I would assume that Miles is physically stronger than Peter. Yes.
Did you find yourself using Miles or Peter more, or is that not how it works? You have to use Peter for most of the game.
No, no, no. You can use either. I would say early on, I found myself using Miles a lot more. But as the main narrative start to wind down, I use Peter more. But I'm not sure. I mean, I would like to say that it was probably like 60-40 when it was all said and done, like 60% Peter, 40% Miles. Um, I do think, and this is one of those criticisms that I saw that I don't necessarily agree with, that this was more so Peter's story than Miles's, but Peter Spider-Man? Like, I mean, what the fuck did you expect? Like, did you think it was gonna get a buddy cop story? No, nigga. Like, Peter's Batman and Miles is Robin. Sorry.
Right.
So, um, I'm sorry to burst all you niggas bubble that only watch Into the Spider Verse. I don't know. I mean,
What?
I feel like. Go ahead.
No, no. You go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, I feel like Miles got an appropriate amount of missions and things to do, and I don't feel like his shit was unimportant at all. Like I said, like I played with him probably, especially early on. Like I played with him the most easily.
Hey yo.
And he had the pause. And he had the coldest suit in the game. That Black Panther suit is crazy. And it came in 4 different variations: the red, the gold, the purple, and the all black. Oh my god, man. I love that suit. Loved it.
So what are the advantages of using Peter? Now I'm just curious. Like, if Miles has all these different more abilities than Peter does, why would somebody use? I mean, besides the fact that you just like Peter Parker, what are the advantages of using him?
Well, in this game, it's Venom. It's the symbiote power.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, once you get that, yeah, then the tables kind of fucking turn. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
Right.
but hey, you know what? You could be 100% right. Maybe that's why I was playing with Miles more earlier, because I'm just like, this nigga's way more fun to play with than fucking.
Don't you do that, bitch. Don't you disrespect Peter Parker, bitch.
Don't you disrespect my fucking goat? No.
um,
I'm trolling. I'm trolling. Maybe.
and last thing to say about this game, the director says that they kept MJ's stealth missions to show that she's
Oh
capable
God.
hero even without her powers. His quote is, "Even if she's a little OP, I don't give a shit." So my question
Mm.
to somebody who has no context is, why the fuck does MJ have stealth missions?
It's just like he said. He wants the director of the game wanted MJ to feel like a part of the team, and for some reason he thinks that that's just a good idea. Do I have my suspicions as to why. Because he wants to bring a maybe a female audience, or maybe like a younger girl audience into the game, and he needs to have the representation. Um, I I could be completely wrong on that. I don't know that, but they're not fun, bro. Like I'm so fucking sick of playing as MJ. Um, look, I mean, look in
Sexist,
this
sexist.
no, this is what I'll say. In the first game, the MJ missions were absolutely unbearable. Like it was the worst part of the game, bar none. There was nothing worse than you thinking that you finna swing through the fucking city, and then all of a sudden it's an MJ mission and she's got like a fucking camera or a taser, and you're just like, what are we? I don't want to do this. Like, stop making me do this. And in Spider-Man 2, imagine having Peter, Venom Peter at that. And you're going around, you're doing whatever you want. Like, you got all these cool powers. And then you know what? Like, I'm sick of playing with you, Peter. I'm gonna go play with Miles. And then you get strapped, you get fucking stopped to play a MJ first person shooter mission where she
Niggas?
bruh, she has a gun. Like, she has it's like a it's like a fucking like a stun gun, basically. Like, she has a stun gun in the game, so you
Oh
can shoot
man, that's
people a
crazy.
little bit from further away, but
Uh,
you're still like, why am I playing as MJ? I want to be Spider-Man. I want to be Spider Man. I don't want to play as her, bro. Like I don't. So
Oh man.
that's my opinion on that. Call it what you want.
All right. All right. And the game takes 15 hours to beat, apparently. Do you feel like that's too short, too long, or just perfect?
Uh Do I feel like that's too short? So, I mean, if you're only doing the main missions, it would take 15 hours roughly, sure.
Oh, okay.
But I completed all the side missions and bonus quests, so it took me, I don't know, 20, 25 hours. And
Okay.
I think that's a good. I mean, it took me like 4 to 5 days, and I was going slow, and I enjoyed that. So yeah,
All right. Nice. Okay. Let's go to some movie reviews now. Did you watch any movies since the last time we spoke? Did you ever see Exorcist Believer?
I have not been to the movies in the entire month of October.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I'll go through my movies then. I've seen five. Wow.
I saw your
Okay.
TikToks.
First, oh, you watch them?
No, they keep popping up
Okay.
on my feed. I might have blocked your ass.
Nigga, why would you block me? Just skip. Just keep going. Like
Mhm.
you've been doing. Anyway, the first review is for this is the big Martin Scorsese release, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh,
This is the movie
sweet.
that stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily Gladstone. So
Mhm.
I was very, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of anxious, not anxious. I was just kind of like weary going into this movie because it's 3.5 hour long movie. That's just like such a daunting task to watch. But I was able to get through it, and I'll say this, man: the first half of the movie is absolutely amazing. It's great. It's moving at an amazing pace, and then out of nowhere, the movie kind of slows down and turns. The second half turns into like a not murder mystery, like a detective story, and that really just kind of killed all the momentum for me. And so I'm sitting there
Mm.
watching the next hour and a half or hour and 45 minutes of just a detective story, and I feel like they really killed. They had such a good thing going with that first half of just showing what was going on during this time of America's history that I didn't even know about. um and this is Scorsese's 10th collab with De Niro, his sixth collab with Leo. Leo delivers an absolutely amazing performance. I think it's one of his best performances he has in his entire career. If I'm being honest, it was just amazing. Um, I was weary too because I thought it was gonna be like another like white savior story about Leo coming into this, the Native American tribe and kind of rescuing everybody. But when you watch the movie, you'll see it's far from a white savior story. And I commend Scorsese for telling the history as it was, because it's definitely like it was some evil shit going on around this time. Um, Also, I love the idea that the movie kind of posed of like the notion of basically like loving someone outside of your race, and just because you love someone might love you that's not in your race, they don't necessarily they can still be totally 100% racist, and we see that all the time in real life. Like just because somebody has a black girlfriend doesn't mean they aren't fucking racist. And the movie explored that I thought pretty well. And I thought it did a good job of honoring the Osage indigenous tribe. And yeah, so overall, I gave it a B minus. Man, it could have easily been in that B plus territory if it just would have stuck with that first half of the movie, that momentum that it had, and just kind of that world building that Scorsese was able to do. But I still want to shout out Scorsese for being 80 fucking years old and being directing, good movies. I mean, he's a legend for sure.
Box office bitch.
um, Next review is for Old Dads. This is the movie that's on Netflix. Have you heard about this movie?
Nope.
This
Old
is a
dads.
comedy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, it's co-written and directed by Bill Burr, and also starring Bill Burr. You know who Bill Burr is, the comedian?
Yeah, he's just been in a few
Okay.
episodes of The Mandalorian as well.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's funny. That's what you say about him. But yeah, I love Bill Burr, man. I'm a Bill Burr fan. I was interested to see his directorial debut. And I gotta say, it feels like a directorial debut. There's some talent there, but you can just tell you got a lot to learn. Um, the movie tries to paint Bill like this kind of villain, like basically the whole theme of the movie is this: he's an old school guy and he's living in this new school woke world and he's having to adjust. And I've just seen other movies do that a little bit better from like a comedic standpoint. For example, the movie I saw earlier this year with Ray Romano called Somewhere in Queens. Similar angle in terms of just showing you that older people can still learn like a lot of life lessons and stuff like that, but it just did it a lot better and a lot more subtle in my opinion. This is very heavy handed with that message, and sometimes it just felt a little too heavy handed. But yeah, overall, I mean, if you're looking for just a lighthearted comedy, sure, pop it in. I gave Old Dads a C, now streaming on Netflix. Next review is for the Burial. This is the movie with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones. Remember we talked about this?
This is
Uh, uh,
the lawyer shit.
yes, the lawyer movie. The lawyer movie. I believe it's streaming on Hulu or no, it's Prime, I believe. First of all, I just want to shout out Jamie Foxx for this year alone. In 2023, man, he's starred in 3 movies that he's been completely different in. His range is something that I've always commended Jamie Foxx on. He's been in They Clone Tyrone. He was a pimp. He was in Strays, the movie with Will Ferrell when he's voicing this little stupid little raunchy dog. And now he's in The Burial. He's playing a snarky, not snarky, quick-witted, kind of snappy lawyer. He does great in this movie, and so does Tommy Lee Jones as always. But more importantly, I want to shout out Journey Smollett because as I'm watching this movie, I'm realizing like she's been a part of some really important movies to me in my life, and since I was a kid, and it just kind of hit me out of nowhere. Like she was in Lion King, of course. She played Nala. She's in my favorite movie of all time, Roll Bounce. She's in a great show that I love called Lovecraft Country. She was in my favorite Denzel movie, The Great Debater. She's just always been around, and I don't think she gets appreciated enough as an actress. She does really good in this as well. This is one of those movies where nothing in the movie is bad at all. Everything is just super, super clean, but like it's clean to a fault. Like everything is very matter of fact. Everything has a nice little bow. Every problem has an instant solution. Like it's just, I kind of wish this movie kind of dirtied it up a little bit, which is kind of like, as a director, like what do you do, or as a writer, like damn, I gave you a good movie. Like what else do you want? It's too fucking clean. Like it just felt like it was kind of going through the motions at time. It's one, if you like courtroom dramas, I think you'll like it. But I've just seen this courtroom drama formula done so many times before. So yeah, I mean, I believe I gave this a C plus, The Burial. Um,
Okay.
Next review is for Pain Hustlers. Remember this trailer with Emily Blunt and Chris Evans on Netflix?
Yeah, salesman.
Yeah, so this is directed by David Yates, guys. He's director of every single Harry Potter movie since Order of the Phoenix, including the Fantastic Beasts movie. So I was interested to see him do something different with this movie. It's like totally different than any Harry Potter film. And starring Emily Blunt and Chris Evans. Emily Blunt is always good in my opinion. Chris Evans, he does okay in this movie. This is one of those movies where it's like based on a true story. It's about a sales upcoming, like kind of like Pursuit of Happiness, where somebody's really down on their luck. They get the right opportunity, they kind of climb the corporate ladder and they become successful. But really, it's more so in the vein of a movie like Wolf of Wall Street, which I said, remember when I watched the trailer, because it's one of those stories where they had to add in that little element of like there's corruption involved and the feds are tracking them and monitoring them. At the end, they get busted and caught, and somebody has to snitch. Like we've seen that formula done so many times. This movie just kind of didn't differentiate enough. Differentiate itself enough from the other the movies like that for it to really be special. Like I think David Yates is very competent behind the camera, as we know from the Harry Potter films, but
Right.
it's just not special. But if you are interested in kind of seeing a look behind like pharmaceutical sales and like the opioid crisis, then you might be interested in this movie because it does highlight that. But overall, it's just an okay movie. I gave Pain Hustlers a C plus. Last
A lot
review,
of
guys. Here,
C's. A lot of C's.
a lot of C's. Last review here, guys, is for Five Nights at Freddy's. Um, do you care to watch this movie at all, or not really?
Not at all.
Okay, it's doing amazing box office wise. Actually, it made as much as almost Oppenheimer did in its first week, and it broke the record for the most watched title on Peacock in just 5 days. So it's doing
That's
amazing
awesome.
right now. I think it's one of the movies that came out like at the right time. That happens a lot of times with movies, and so that's why I think that's happening. But anyway, do you ever play the game or have any kind of knowledge about the game at all?
Not at all.
It's got a big fan base apparently. Because like in my screening, it was full of kids who just like they were going crazy because apparently the movie had like a lot of cameos, people who like stream the game online, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's him from here. That's him from YouTube." And, like they were going like crazy. These kids are going crazy. So, it's got a built-in fan base. I was interested to see Josh Hutcherson again, man. I was a big fan of him growing up. I mean, he was in a lot of movies that I loved, like Bridge to Terabithia, Zathura, of course, the Hunger Games series, and he's just one of those actors I think is always just really solid in everything that he's in. And also it stars Elizabeth Leo, who played Beck in season 1 of You. So I just want to say, first of all, there are some things that it does really good. The animatronics are like Freddy and his friends. They all look great. I mean, it does a really good job of capturing that kind of eeriness that you remember when we were kids and we worked at Chuck E. Cheese. We used to work there. Like it just felt kind of weird, like seeing Chucky come behind that curtain and see this nigga move, like the animatronics. Like, it just felt something was off about it. And I think the movie did a really good job of capturing that off feeling that that you feel when those animatronics are moving like that. So I give the movie kudos for that. Um, I expected a really kind of goofy kind of horror movie. I don't know why, just because of the subject matter of these things coming to life and killing niggas. But it's really like a ghost story that kind of takes itself really seriously. I didn't know that it was a ghost story. Essentially, that's what Five Nights at Freddy's is, and I give it kudos once again for that, for taking itself serious. Like, it wasn't trying to be this goofy horror movie. It tried to actually have like a plot and like backstory and like fleshed out characters and all that kind of stuff. So shout out to that. Now, I do think an R rating would definitely help benefit this movie, because a lot of the kills, it could have leaned into that kind of Megan style of killing where like it's bloody and it's gory, because a lot of the kills just seem underwhelming. But I kind of contradicted myself because, like I said, like the whole fan base was like kids in my theater. So if it was at R rating, they would have blocked off an entire segment of people, and they wouldn't be getting these, these numbers that they're getting at the box office right now. So I get the PG-13 rating, but an R rating would have definitely helped, I think, just with the overall movie, in my opinion. And overall, it just kind of had a good setup, but the third act was just so generic, and so I ended up giving it a C plus. But it was definitely in that B territory to start off. It had a good setup, and it was better than I expected it to be. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, guys.
Hmm. So I didn't miss anything. Great. C C
Yeah,
C C C. Thanks, Monty.
I gave what's it called, a B minus though, the Scorsese movie.
Yeah,
Um,
fuck him.
and
Box office.
it wasn't scary at all either. I saw like a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's fans say like playing the game is scarier than watching the movie. So maybe not they didn't translate what they thought it would. Anyway, let's talk some Star Wars, Marvel, and DC. For the Star Wars portion, Sean Levy says that Kathleen Kennedy's central mandate for his Star Wars movies is, quote, I want Sean Levy. Keep in mind, guys, Sean Levy, for those who don't know who Sean Levy is, this nigga directed Cheaper by the Dozen, The Night at the Museum movies, Real Steel, and Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. So that's the kind of nigga that we're dealing with here. Kathleen Kennedy said, I want a Sean Levy movie. I want a story and a tone that reflects you and your taste and what you bring to your movies with a Star Wars story. So I've hated fucking Kathleen Kennedy for years now, and she just makes the weirdest decisions. And so, what are your thoughts on her just highly advocating for a Sean Levy fucking Star Wars movie, considering his filmography? Even though I like some of
Uh,
his films.
it could be worse. And yeah, I was about to say, I mean, out of the films you listed, I think most of those I've seen and enjoyed. So, I mean, there could have been a lot worse director decisions. So I'm not angry or outraged, but again, I'm not a Star Wars super fan like most people are. I'm just a casual, and this I don't care if I'm being 100% real. Like, this doesn't matter to me at all.
I just don't understand her creative decisions a lot of times, and I don't know. Like, you fucking can Del Toro. Yes, I don't care if it was a fucking Jabba the Hutt
Jabba the
movie.
Hutt movie. Oh, get that shit
You're
out of
gonna
here, Monty. I'm sorry.
anyway. This is big news. Marvel execs have begun to reconsider focusing on Jonathan Majors as Kang for their next saga. Of course, this is all the court dealings and stuff like that. They are now discussing backup plans, including pivoting to Doctor Doom as their central focus for an antagonist. What are your thoughts on this?
Did you read the article, Monty?
I didn't read the article. No.
Okay. So in the article, they stated that the court thing, they had already discussed replacing him before the court thing even happened because of the poor box office and reception of Ant-Man and Quantum Mania, which is hilarious to me
That's
because
so stupid.
why would those two things even correlate? They were like, I'm pretty sure the exact quote in the article was like, the audience isn't ready for Kang or some shit like that, which is, whatever. But yeah, the court dealing certainly did not help his case of staying on as the big lead villain where his face is everywhere. So look, they've got a fucking choice to make because these Avengers movies, I mean, the cast isn't getting any younger. The movie's got to be filmed and promoted once this fucking actor strike is over. So yeah, I mean, going to Doctor Doom, I guess. I mean, I kind of just wish the MCU would just end. Um, I kind of wish that it would have just ended after Endgame, because man, this has been such a whirlwind since. Um, we wouldn't have gotten Shang Chi and No Way Home, but maybe that would have been for the best. I don't know, but yeah, this is my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think the MCU should have ended, but it's just weird to kind of pivot and panic. These studios panic so early. They lose a couple fucking $1 million and they just want to go a different direction. Like, that shit pisses me off. And even though I hate Quantum Mania, don't get me wrong, I think it's the worst MCU movie ever made. Um, Majors was fucking amazing. Majors was fucking great in that movie. I mean, and Kang, all his Loki setup has been really cool. A guy that can travel through different time stuff is like that's really cool to me. So just to pivot off that because you fucking scared that he lost a couple of dollars. You're fucking spineless. Anyway, Marvel also has recently had talks about bringing back the original cast for a new Avengers movie. Yes, the original six, which would include reviving Iron Man and Black Widow. They haven't committed to the idea yet, but to me, this just kind of shows that they're in panic mode. I mean, you kind of called this in a couple pods beforehand. You've always said that they're going to come back to some capacity. I totally disbelieved it, but this is just insane to me. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I think it's funny that you just thought that that was so far fetched. I mean,
I
this
did.
is. I'm gonna say the same thing I said every time. This is comic books. This is what comic books do. They kill somebody and they bring them the fuck back. You're not gonna kill Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and an original member of the Avengers in Scarlet Witch and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow without bringing them back. And we're going to see it in Avengers 10 or whatever the case may be for the final batter, the final closing chapter. We're going to see it. Now, in an entire movie, I can't say I call that one. That would be interesting. I mean, first of all, I'd be 100% here for it because I'm the one of us that's been like, we need to get back to Cap, Iron Man, and Thor. Like, I'm tired of watching fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp or Spider-Man Far From Home and all that bullshit. Like, I need my guys back. So if they decide to do it, I'll be there opening night. No complaints for me.
So you said it's comic book, not movies, but I mean, but you said it's comic books. I mean, but it's movies though. It's not comic books, so that's why I didn't think it would happen, even though it's
They're
based
based
on
off of
comic
comic books.
books.
What are you talking about?
So what? Like that's so fucking stupid to me. Like you just nigga, that Iron Man death was so impactful in Endgame because we as the audience thought that he was gone for good, and which he should be. Even though I love Iron Man.
The death of
Anyway,
Superman was impactful when it was released in a
but
comic
that's
book.
an. I'm
What?
sorry. Go ahead.
I'm
No,
just saying it
I,
was it was impactful at the time, and then you brought his ass back because he's Superman. You're gonna do the same thing for Iron Man, bro. That's just how it works. It's
no, it's
comic
not.
books. Yes, it is. It's been happening for literally 100 years. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's how
Anyway,
comics work.
Anyway, for all my DC fans out there, or DCEU fans, should I say, Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, The Suicide Squad are all coming to Netflix on December 1st. So you guys can check those out if you don't have HBO Max.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're just completely just Warner Brothers is just like, get this shit out of here. Get this shit out of here. Okay. Love it.
Basically. And fuck Netflix, by the way, too, because they actually really are enforcing this password sharing shit. Because I've been sharing, I've been using my mom and dad's account, and now it's saying, oh, my TV isn't logged into this household, and I can't. You're like, fuck you, you make all that fucking money, bitch, and I can't fucking use Netflix. Anyway,
That's funny.
last couple news here, guys. This is just some tabloidy stuff, I guess. Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum are engaged after 2 years of dating. So shout out to that white woman and her man. And last but not least, rest in peace to Matthew Perry, 54, drowned. He's of course one of the main members of Friends. A lot of Friends fans have been really going crazy over this, man. I mean, I didn't watch Friends, but I definitely know who Matthew Perry is, and it's just sad to hear. He drowned in a hot tub or some shit. So horrible.
Yeah. RP to Matthew Perry. Again, like you, never watched Friends or nothing. So RP. Shout out to Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz, I guess. Who gives a fuck about them? Shout out to them though.
All right, guys, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Nigga said thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Mondy.